Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Giants of Backlog Podcast. This is our podcast where our four friends get together and hold each other accountable for doing our backlog. Uh, we play through one game every 2 weeks, picked by each other, whoever has the current pick, and we get together and do these long form, spoiler heavy podcasts where we just talk through the game, give our thoughts. And give our feedback on everything to do with it. So today's episode is special episode number 10, which will be Portal. If you have not played Portal, go ahead and go back and pause the video, play through it, and come back so that you can see if you agree with our opinions or not.
Should take about 2-3 hours, so
yeah,
I got time.
Pretty short game. It took me, I think, about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Which you guys said, I think you said you took 2 hours, which made me feel bad, but that's all right. But I had a couple sections where I was pretty stuck.
Yeah.
But so this is our podcast. If you like what you see, we have 9 other episodes that are on our channel. Please like and subscribe, and we'll get into it. But before we do, we usually like to start with a just icebreaker topic. Now that we're back in the room. So for me, the icebreaker topic I want to go into today is the beginning of Portal. The first 19 levels, to me, reminded me a lot of like a mobile game, like a game that's level based, but was like something that back in like middle school, high school, I'd play on my phone, So to play off that, I want to ask the question: what are your guys' favorite mobile games of all time? What have you put the most hours into? And what games do you think have had the best adaptations from console or PC to mobile?
I'll go first, I guess. Spent a lot of time playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which is a trash game, and it's pay to win, and you're just always grinding and chasing a carrot that everybody who pays $600 can get at day one. But
So a mobile game?
yeah, there's people that have spent $100,000 on this game.
I hear that's worth it.
To unlock every character. It's stupid. And then it's stupid being a free-to-play guy who's just getting rolled by everything. So I stopped playing that. My cousin still plays it, tries to get me back into it. We played a decent amount of Pokemon Go through COVID, to get outside, get walking. And then, of course, when it came out, everybody was playing it. RuneScape, I'm sure you'll probably talk about it, but it works great on the phone. I played through a game called Florence on the phone, which is like, it's kind of like Edith Finch. It's a short, story, just open and close. It costs money to buy it, but I heard people say good things about it. It's about a breakup. So I played that. It was okay. I got this grand vision that I was going to play all the Dragon Quest games a couple of years ago.
On mobile?
However, I could play them.
So
I did play through Dragon Quest 1 on mobile, and it worked actually pretty good. But I don't even know what system that came out. It's a super old game. And I always dabble in mobile games. I would like there to be a good mobile game. I'm trying to get into what's that game called with the anime characters, Legend of Zelda anime.
Is it Genshin Impact?
Yeah, Genshin
They keep
Impact.
advertising it.
Isn't that like a crazy gacha game on mobile too, though?
Yeah, you can buy more characters, but you can play the whole game without spending money. People say it works good on phones. My phone's too old though, so it's not working good for me. And Fire Emblem
Heroes.
I played
Or
that game a
Warriors,
ton
something like that, yeah.
a couple of years back. So I've played a bunch of mobile games. Used to play Clash of Clans, and
Yeah.
so that's me.
Yeah, I don't play too much mobile games. I don't really enjoy them. I'll play
They're
like
not fun.
they're not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Compared to
that's my
actual
big thing.
games. Like if I'm at home, I'd rather play that. And then they came
Yeah.
out the Switch, and that just like cut down my mobile game timing.
That makes
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of sense, actually, because like the way I think of mobile games, like when you crawl into bed and only thing you have available is your phone. Like, what are you gonna play for like half an hour before you go to sleep? So like, for me, that is a game of TFT or RuneScape or
Yeah.
Hearthstone Battlegrounds.
Yeah, TFT.
But I can see what you mean. Like, if you have a Switch, now that's accessible in the same capacity with much better games. I've never owned a Switch, so like I didn't even think of that. But like, for me, mobile games, when I think of mobile games, is like Unblock Me. I have so many hours in Unblock Me, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And like, as like a kid who's just a dumb kid who's not even being strategic about it, just going like this hundreds of times, like, oh, beat another level, And it's like, so like those are like for me like those kinds of games, the free games that were like more puzzle games, level based puzzle games, where like when I think of mobile games is like what I think back to, And then you have like today, like I talked about RuneScape and TFT ports to mobile.
Yeah,
which
I
are
like
actually
that
done.
a lot.
Yeah.
When I switch.
If I have to say the best mobile game of all time, it's probably Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm. It's the exact same game.
It's incredible.
Like
Hearthstone on your phone.
I play a ton of RuneScape on mobile. Only issue, and it works perfect, but you can't do like high level stuff, right? You can't boss on your phone. Like you can, but good luck. So, but like with such a grindy game like that, like it has, you do lose some EXP rates, going from PC to phone just because it's less efficient than clicks. But like any grindy activity that you're not at your computer for,
Takes your
like,
grind
it's-
on the go.
yeah, you can do it
Makes you
anywhere.
more efficient because now you can do it in the car. You can do it at church. You can do it.
That's where you go first.
It's his first public
In the
spot.
car,
Church.
church.
To
Yeah,
look at-
that's
It was a joke, guys. Not recommending to play RuneScape at church.
But if you're bored in
Well,
church, you
This is what
could.
we're trying to make the
So-
point.
Good.
No, I
If you
mean,
get caught,
I-
don't blame us. Though.
I played every Digimon mobile game. I've done that. Again, they're not good games, so like it's not like I'm enjoying them that much. But I feel
Something
like-
to kill time.
yeah, and I feel like that's where the market's transitioned. Like you talk about Unblock Me, like that's one of the first games I remember playing on like my iPod Touch, like before I even had a real smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, every time I see my fiance's mom, she's always bugging me to play Words with Friends.
Yeah.
Still,
With her. Yeah.
Still,
And I try it, and I'm just so bombarded with ads. I have to wait like 10 minutes in between turns just because the ad exit mark doesn't come up. It's so annoying, and it's sad that that's how mobile games have progressed because that's.
it's either microtransactions or ad based. That's
And I will say that's not all. If you're willing to pay money up front, there are some good games on there. Like the Florence game I actually bought. Dragon Quest I had to buy. I mean,
I
just an old
remember,
game ported to.
Yeah, I remember Final Fantasy, the first like 2, when that came to like iPod Touch, like back in the day. Again, I was playing like mobile games on iPod Touch because that was before like the iPhone, even. But like I remember those ports were actually like fun and like
And nowadays I even play less mobile games because I have Xbox Game Pass now, and I can do the cloud streaming. I can play Dragon Quest 11 on my phone.
I'm so behind.
I can play.
I'm so behind. It's crazy.
I can play
I don't do anything.
any they've got a ton of games on Game Pass that are supported from their cloud. So what happens is an Xbox at their servers turns on and it streams it to your phone. Yeah, you don't need it. You can even do it on your Xbox. You don't have to download anything. It just opens up from the cloud. So it's really cool. It saves download space, and it means that I can pause it on my Xbox at home, fly to Florida, and play it on the beach on my phone.
That's
That
nice.
is really cool.
Really cool.
Yeah. So I just want to touch on that. Like, I feel like that's a topic I've never talked to you guys about. That might be interesting to get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from there, let's just transition straight into Portal. So Portal,
Not a mobile game.
not a mobile game. I played it on PC.
PC. Well,
Xbox.
first time I played it on PS3, but second time was PC.
Was it originally released to everything, or?
No, it was originally a PC game that Valve put a orange box, is what they called it. They put it in the orange box game disc, which came with Portal, Half-Life 2, and Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2. Those 3 games Valve compiled into a disc for PlayStation and Xbox, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So since Valve,
Is that what
know
you played
Valve
it on?
makes Steam, right?
Yeah.
So they make a couple games that people really like.
Mhm.
A few of them that people like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have that list here. It's Valve, released by Valve in 2007.
Yep.
Valve, known for Half-Life, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, Dota 2, and Steam.
Is that what you played it on Xbox? Was the orange box disc, or did they actually release it separately?
No. So actually, this is an interesting story. In order to even buy it on Xbox, I already owned it on Steam, but I wanted to get
Yeah.
achievements.
How
so-
old is Steam? Steam's been around since then?
After Portal, like slightly after, but yeah, it's been around a long time.
But I had to go back to I had to buy it off of, it was Xbox 360 backwards compatible. It was part of the Xbox Arcade, if you remember that. It was where they like brought a bunch of small games to Xbox Arcade, and you could buy them online back before you could just buy games online whenever you want, especially for console. So I bought it. It had extra challenge levels, but when I got done with the game, I didn't feel like playing the challenge levels, so I didn't check them out. But there are 14 more levels in this version that I bought. And it really sucks because I bought an Xbox for the achievements. It's only 200 achievement points total. And all the achievements are for the challenge levels. So I only got like 5 gamer score out of it.
Yeah, that's how it is on Steam too. A lot of them are tied to like the challenge levels, which are basically the same as the chambers. I don't know if they're bonus or not, but in the version you're talking about, but it's basically the same level you already played, but you're going for like time trial, portal amounts, like
Oh, really? Okay.
certain number of steps and certain number of portals.
So you're just trying to cut down on...
Yeah, you're
just
trying to
be
do it as
efficient.
efficiently as
Yeah.
possible.
There was one achievement that I tried to do, but then I couldn't do. It was once you get the orange portal, only go through the orange portal. So...
Oh, okay.
Which means on those sections where you're jumping up and down, you have to hit it the first shot every time. Otherwise,
Right.
you'll fall back through the blue portal.
Yeah.
And I could play that game for 100 hours, probably never be able to
You have
accomplish
to
Yeah.
beat the entire game only going through Orange Portal?
That's disgusting. I don't like it.
That
Yeah.
sounds tough.
for like 10 gamer score. Not worth it.
Sounds
And-
kind of fun, though. And
I
that's the
tried.
issue with gamer score, right? Is like,
It's subjective.
it's, well, 10 gamer score, I feel like, is worth less than like if to 100% the game, let's say the game file has like 10 achievements, and in order to beating the game's 90%, and then every achievement in order to 100% the game is worth 10%. Like, if I were to like love the game and be like, I'm gonna 100% the game, I would be more committed to getting to 100% and doing that challenge than for 10 gamer score when I already have 40,000 gamer score, right?
Well, a lot of it is I'm competing with my friends,
True.
to have more gamer score. So every little bit counts. But that's exactly right. I mean, I can play through a game like, I don't know,
Hannah Montana, the movie, the
any
game.
Telltale game.
That too.
You'll get 1,000 gamer score just by playing the game,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you get to this level, here's 100 points just for playing the game. And then there's these other ones that have incredibly hard tasks to do, and they're worth, 5% of that, right?
Yeah.
So
Not all gamer scores weighted equally.
yeah,
That is-
it's really just random. But
yeah.
but when I see my friend has more gamer score than me, I have a goal that I want to catch. Right?
That's why you gotta
And then
play
you start
Hannah
playing
Montana,
Telltale.
the movie, the game, Telltale games, and
Well, there's a lot of fun games that you can get a lot of gamer score from.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be hard to get the achievements for it to be fun,
yeah.
That's true.
But like games like Gears, like I think one of them I have 600, and that's the most. And I played the crap out of those games.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to remember what I played recently where I was like, you beat the game in gamer score before. Oh, it was Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the newest Dragon Ball Z game. You can get 100% platinum at gamer score before you even 100% the game.
before you even get the credits, or before you?
No, before you 100% the game. But before you get the credits, in theory, well, no, part of it's getting the credits.
Right.
That's a trophy. Is just
I thought about
completing the
playing
game.
that game.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
I like it. It's a lot of fun. It is fun. It's probably one of the best Dragon Ball Z games that they've had, and those are usually pretty fun.
They just rehash the story.
Yeah, it's just following the story with they put a bunch of side content in and a bunch of like side quests that fills in the gaps.
Dean and I used to play so much Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Yep.
Budokai
That's
Tenkaichi.
the thing.
That's the one.
That's so
Dean
fun.
was the one who inspired me to get this one. It was
Oh,
on
yeah.
sale, and I was like, you know what? I've been meaning to. Dean recommends it. I'm gonna get into it.
He played the Kakarot one?
But that's what I'm saying is that game was like one of the few games where you would get a platinum trophy, and there's still so much left of the game that I haven't even like touched.
Right.
Like
Gotcha. So
Like-
now that you have the platinum, you don't even feel the need to.
exactly right, and it's like I still want to play the side stuff, but I don't have to.
That's the
which
tough
like
part about achievements is it kind of decentivizes you,
yeah,
to do stuff just for fun or just because, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. So, Portal, it's a puzzle platformer. Your character's traveling through Aperture Labs, going room by room, test room by test room. There's 19 total levels that you need to beat in the first part of the game using portals, and then once you beat like the third level, you get access to the portal gun, and you're able to set up where the portals are themselves.
yeah.
Did you guys have any rooms that you had trouble with, or anything funny happen, or?
Not really. If we're talking about like achievements with this game, one of them was like to get all the cameras to fall off the wall,
I didn't even realize that was a thing until after I was already out
Yeah.
of all the rooms.
and like that was something that I missed like one or two cameras because I just never saw them, and so it's like that's a frustrating thing, I guess, is when you're going for that achievement. But other than that, the puzzles themselves, I don't remember having difficulty this time around, and I don't know if it's has anything to do with the fact that I'm replaying it, so I've seen it before. But this was years ago. I played it the first time, so like I
How
didn't
long
really
ago do you think
remember.
your last playthrough was?
20 before The Last of Us, the original one, that's for sure. So 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. So almost 10 years.
How about you, Jay?
When was my last playthrough, or what did I have trouble with?
Both, I guess.
I played it way back, but I bounced off of it like halfway through after you leave the test room stuff, because that goes on way longer.
Yeah.
You'd expect, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I thought like, okay, I gotta be nearing the end, and then the end didn't come. I was like, I'm done with this game. So
Especially because it's like, it's a lot harder once you leave the test rooms. Because
100%.
there's like, you're looking for the like tiniest corner to shoot your portal at a lot of the time.
I had trouble. Let me preface this with I drank a whole bottle of wine and then I played this. So I had trouble with the ones where you have to jump down and then jump up, and then you enter the portal and then your screen is flipping. And
Yeah.
you have to like
Find
go
where
back
you are.
and shoot it, and then you land and jump up. Like I got dizzy doing that, and it took me a lot of tries to finally get it, because you go back up, you like move just wrong and you'll fall into the outside. So yeah, that one gave me a little bit of trouble. But other than that, it was pretty smooth sailing. Oh, the one where there's the thing that shoots a rocket and you have to shoot a rocket up to break the tube to drop the box.
Yeah.
Mm.
That one took me a little bit to figure out what I had to do there.
Yeah, so when it came to the actual beginning first 19 levels, I think for the most part, this is where I said it kind of felt like a mobile game to me, kind of like level based, kind of like an Unblock Me, you're just going through the levels, you're figuring it out. And to be honest, I don't know, I guess I just am clueless when it comes to games, because I didn't even realize there was an escape part until I put it together where the lady's level 15, she's like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. Then you find all the find the back areas.
That's what I'm saying. Did you find any of the back areas?
I
Because
found a
they're
few.
optional. Okay.
Yeah. So the back areas during the level parts is where you see the cake is alive for the first
Mhm.
time, which I remember middle school was a major, I don't even know if we called them memes yet back then.
Not yeah, but I know.
But a major meme that people would say, and I
the cake is alive.
didn't understand.
This one over your head.
Yeah. But do you think kids today understand, even remember that, or do they say that anymore, or no?
The
Probably
cake is
not,
alive.
right?
I forgot
Probably
that
not.
until you just said it. So
Because that was something that was all over the place.
yeah,
People
Oh,
say
yeah.
that all the time.
Awesome. I didn't know until I played it either, and then I was like, oh, that's where it's from.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is you beat all the levels, and the AI promises you cake at the end, a
And
big
it's
party to
delivered.
celebrate.
The cake was not alive.
The cake, yeah, at the very end, the cake was there. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
But
There was
she's
cake.
promising cake, and she's promising a party for completing all the levels. But once you do complete it, you're actually just being lowered into,
Fiery pit of death.
a fiery
Incinerated.
pit of death.
yeah.
So you have to use your portal gun to escape, which is pretty easy at that first part. I feel like once you get into the escape portion of the game, which I did like how the music picked up quite a bit during the escape portion, gave you a sense of urgency while you're running through the back maintenance areas that seemed like, I gotta move fast, I gotta get out of here fast, and then I got stuck on the first part and realized I don't actually have to be fast.
No.
But I did enjoy the change in attitude of the music and atmosphere that was presented. As we know, this is an older game, 2007. Obviously, games today do it better, but I think for the time it did the job well enough to be, to give you that sense and to be appreciable, if that's a word. You guys got any thoughts just on the change from clean, sterile, just beating levels to the escape section?
I think, I think that it transitions quickly too in the, like you said, it kind of makes you feel like you want to go fast and everything, but as soon as you get there, it's yeah, I guess I don't have to go fast. I just got to figure it out on my own time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that I felt. And then,
Yeah.
You go.
I thought that it was cool at first, and then the coolness kind of wore off on me
Mm-hmm.
after a little bit. It was just I'm breaking out, and then you're breaking out for the next hour. And you're
Yeah.
this is the longest breakout of all time.
Yeah.
but you know, it's cool. You go through their offices and you see like what's actually part of this facility.
Yeah,
And-
like some of the offices overlook the test chambers and stuff. I like
Right.
that a lot. Like you would see the windows
Right.
like throughout. It'd be like, oh, people are observing you, and it's like, no, they're just empty offices.
Right. And like in the breakout section, like in the first part when you're in the rooms, everything is like grid laid out. Everything is like, yep, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is how it makes sense. But when you break out, some of the things you're like, should I be able to do this? Can I make a portal here? Oh yeah, I can. This does work. This is what I need to do, right? It was less apparent what the answer was when you
Yeah.
got into that, when it was less structured and more like ruins and stuff.
Yeah, I felt like when I was playing through, or when I finally got to the end of the escape section, I thought back on the original levels in the escape. It almost felt like the original levels were like a tutorial
Right.
for how to get through the escape section.
Yeah,
Um,
but only
But-
slightly.
but they didn't feel like a tutorial while you were in them, which is what something I appreciated. I thought, you know, they felt like a level-based game, and I thought that was going to be the entire game. And then you have this new section, and you have to use, you know, the techniques you learned in the first 19 levels to get through this last level, which actually had a few, you know, sections, a few parts that were somewhat difficult, and I got stuck in. One that was like that was what Jay said, having to break the glass tube to get that cube out. I was there for, I mean, I have my gameplay recorded. I was there for probably 20 minutes. Like, it was bad, and I was like
I
confused.
broke the tube, and then I tried using the cube to hop into the tube. Like I didn't know where to go after that.
I was getting chairs out of another office to try to jump up and
I
jump
tried
in.
that too.
Like,
Yeah.
how the hell do you get through this? And I just could not I couldn't, like, my issue was I forgot that I could use the portal gun in some sections, right? Like, I forgot about it. So, like, using the missile robot to shoot that glass tube just was not in my brain.
Right.
And literally, it's funny because I was playing, and I look into a portal, and it just clicked. I'm like, what? I'm like, I used the robot, like, obviously, like, that's how I do it. And I just ran around because actually, where I first I got stuck on both of them. I got stuck on breaking the glass that wasn't next to the robot, and then I got stuck on the glass too. That's why it took so freaking long.
Yeah.
But
My problem at that
like-
point was I never looked up. I didn't look up at that tube long enough to see a cube pass through it, so I didn't even know that I should break that.
I broke it like right away, and then I had the cube, and I was running around with the cube trying to figure out where to go next because I had initially tried to hop in that vent, and it was too small, is what I thought.
there was an arrow pointing at it.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got so confused because I hopped on the cube, I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna go in this vent, and I'm like, I'm too big, like I'm ramming into this vent,
Yeah.
and maybe I just didn't
You
like
had to-
hop enough.
You had to jump crouch, I think.
Yeah, jump crouch, something like that. But yeah, it was like I was trying everything to get in that vent, and then I gave up and started running around, and then I was like, no, you know what? I have to go that way.
Yeah. The other area I got really stuck, and not because I couldn't figure out what to do, was the big area with like the sewage at the bottom, where you had to make that really high jump. And man, I could not get that jump for like half an hour. I was in there just trying that over and over and over again. It's like, I know where I need to go, but I can't do it, you know? You guys have trouble there, or did you first try it?
I'm pretty sure I got through it. The one that I
Are
had,
you talking about the one with the platforms that keep getting higher and then one's slanted and then one's...
Platforms keep getting... Yeah,
where you
it's
jump through the portal,
it's a-
float, and shoot to the next portal, basically.
It's got a massive Not that one.
Oh.
I was able to do that one pretty easily.
I was stuck on that one for a while.
Were you?
Yeah, because it was a bottle of wine deep. He kept flipping himself.
Got so dizzy during that part.
I messed it up a few times because I was trying to do everything at once. And then I realized I could take my time if I just didn't move. So, like, go through one, go up, come back down, go up, shoot my portal, come back down, go up, then go to the portal. Like, if you took your time, it was, like, a lot easier instead of if you tried to do it all in one
I took
motion.
my time. It's just I would come out of the portal and be facing the wrong way. By the time I rotated over to see the platform, I fell back through the other portal.
And then would
or
have
I
to
missed
turn
my
back
shot,
around.
and then I'd have to go and turn, and then I'd like try going in upside down to see if that helped, and I got dizzy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you, because that happened a few times where, like, I got stuck on one of the levels. I got stuck in like a loop where I'm just like going back and forth instantly. I'm like, oh, get me out of here! And try getting out, and I couldn't get out. And I had my cube with me, and it just disappeared. And then that sucked because I was on like level 14 or something, and I was like half an hour into the game, 45 minutes into the game, I hadn't saved, and I was like, are you kidding me? This game better have an autosave, but it never said it did. And I looked back, it had an autosave, which we've struggled with before. On the first episode, we played Bioshock 2, which is an older game.
No,
Didn't have an autosave. And I thought I had flashbacks where I was like, I'm going to have to restart this game again. Like, you kidding me right now? And thank God it did. It had an autosave. It actually autosaved a ton.
It does.
Autosaved, like, every time you got to, like, one of those dikes,
Pretty much.
it autosaved, which was super nice. But
some of the ones
scary.
where like you have to do it a couple times in the breakout section. Like the biggest one is where you're in that room with all the sentry guns.
that's
and
the
you
one.
have to jump off the top, and then you put a portal up there, jump into this portal, it shoots you out of the portal up there, and then you have to hit the shot every time as you're falling through, so it keeps on like shooting you further up, and then you have to hit the other slanted one so that you shoot out of that one, and then you make it up. That took me a handful of tries.
That was the one I was stuck on for like half an hour.
Oh, I
Sentry
think I got it first try.
I was stuck there for so long. And then you get up there, and then you have to go up again. And the only way to go up is to go down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I just spent a half hour getting up here, so I just didn't think about a shot portal. I just jumped off, shot portal right before I landed, and I went, thank God I didn't mess that up.
I messed that up, so I had to start again at the one down there. I was like, fuck. And yeah, that took me a couple tries because,
I think I played enough Portal 2 where like any falling section, I got the feel of like when to shoot the portal, because that was the important part of like shooting the portal at the right time when you're falling.
I'd either shoot it too late where I'd hit the ground and then I'd be next to my portal, or I'd shoot it too early and miss my portal.
And then you'd be in front of it.
Yeah. Because that was like a nerve-wracking section. Like, you have to jump back down. I spent this much time getting up here. You got to jump back down, go up. And then finally, you get to the final boss, which is the AI herself.
Lados,
yeah. She reveals that, or not actually. When you're there, you are in a room with just the final boss, who's hanging from the ceiling, big AI, and an incinerator. And that's basically the only two things in the room.
Right.
She has a core or something fall out of her. So you're like, oh, idiot! I'm about to put you away. And so you put the core in the incinerator, and she goes, "Oh, that was my what's it called?
Humanity, like suppressing core or something along those lines.
So,
They had
like,
something that gave her moral value, ethics driven core.
The one that gives her morals.
Yeah.
She's like, they installed this after I released poison gas in the chambers. Then you realize throughout the facility, you look around, there's not a single other human being in there.
Yep.
So you realize, oh wait, she killed everyone else, and now she's killing me. So you kill that, and then she releases a missile turret, and starts a 5-minute countdown to release poison gas to kill you as well in the facility.
Yeah.
So you have 5 minutes now to defeat to defeat her. Like I said, for me, for some reason, once we got into the escape section, I forgot about my portal gun, so I wasted half my time thinking.
Continue.
I wasted half my time, like, trying to go up the stairs and have the rocket aim up at me. And then finally realized, you gotta use the rocket to shoot her and stuff. And when you do, different cores fall out of her and you incinerate them. You have to, it's like a total of 3 more cores that get put in different places. You got to platform too.
Yeah, press the button, throw the core in.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the final boss fight?
I thought it was good. It was funny. It was a good final boss. When I didn't take the timer seriously, when I was like, okay, there's a timer on the wall, and I just took my time the first time, and then like the timer ran out, and I was like, oh, I actually died. And I was like, oh, I gotta actually do this quick. So I got it the second try, no problems. It wasn't an especially tough boss, but it was unique and funny that it was talking to you. Like, you definitely don't want to incinerate that. Like, and she's a good character, GLaDOS. And it's funny how the relationship between you and her grows, from promising you cake to saying stuff to you like through the whole breakout section, like you don't want to go that way, you want to turn back and stuff.
Oh no.
And then you finally face off with her, and it's gratifying, it's fulfilling, and I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah, I thought her speech lines throughout the entire thing were funny.
Yeah,
they're good, even in the levels. Like, all right, in this level, we're not gonna watch you, and then you beat the level, which is like, sorry, we did watch you. We're turning off. We're not gonna lie to you again.
Yep, we're turning off the cameras.
We're gonna turn off the cameras. We're not watching this time, so go ahead and just do it. Oh, sorry, we lied. We were watching, but we won't lie to you again.
Yeah. And
I feel like that just the last boss battle in particular, it took me a minute to realize, like, to line up the rocket.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was shooting, like, portals in the bottom to try and get, like, the right angle and whatever, and then I realized, like, they actually have these, like, outlines, like, right there.
Do they?
Yeah, they have, like, a doorway kind of thing for, like, where you should aim, and if you just put it right underneath it and stand in the way, then it shoots right at her every time. So...
Yeah.
So it took me a minute to get the aim down, but then after like I did that, then it went pretty quickly.
On the one level, she was like, only 0.04% of participants could figure this one out, or something like that. I forget, but yeah, I think all the voice lines in the game were funny and good. Like, even the turrets, right? They're like, what did they say?
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you. It's okay. And then they yell when they get tipped over. Yeah, it's dripping with personality. And it's cool how they took something which, stereotypically was, AI, like very dry, like just normal, and they inserted personality into all that.
Yeah. And
I mean, I kind of want to play the whole game with the developer commentary, because that was an option that I had noticed after I played it, and I played like the first level with it, and it was really interesting, like some of the facts that they, like, you could get into and select. Like, this was apparently just a capstone project for a computer science course.
Really?
Student. Yeah, that was an intern at Valve. Like, it was just like, that's what this game was initially. And then it was like, the reason they show you after user testing, they realized that showing the concept of the portal in that first scene, like seeing yourself in the portal, helped a lot of people like mentally click of like that's how portals work. So like that's why they had it at that right angle.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so you could see yourself as you're about to walk through the portal. So that was like their first thing that they made sure, and that helped a lot of people. And then the shoes in particular, because you do a lot of like high jumps and missing it. It's like, oh, well, wouldn't you break your legs? Well, no, we got these vault shoes so that you can no fall damage it. So like little things like that was really interesting to see how they put the game together.
Yeah, I love developer commentaries. They do really good ones in Tacoma, and they did it in Gone Home too.
Mm-hmm.
Where like I played through the whole game of Gone Home, and then I played through it again with developer commentary, and one of the nodes I clicked on was like, "Did you notice anything missing from the house?" I'm like, I thought really hard about it. No, like I didn't notice anything missing. I clicked on the next node. There are no shoes here. We didn't have the time to model shoes, so there are no shoes in the entire house. And I just
That's so funny.
never noticed it. Yeah, it's funny.
That's the little things, though, and it's nice to see when the developers, they see the little things, they know the little things,
Oh,
they
they know.
admit the little things.
Yeah.
It's cool. So once you beat the final boss, you get sucked up through the top, and you escape. You escape, and you're just outside, and the end credits roll. Honestly, my favorite part of the game was the abrupt switch from the suspenseful, intense music of the entire escape, to the end credit song.
Dude, the end credit song is top,
It kills.
hands down the best song in a video game. I will put that statement out there. I remember hearing it years ago, 10 years ago. Still holds up to this day.
Absolutely.
It's so funny. It's so over the, and it's the song that's been playing on those radios the entire time.
Really? I played
They
one
just put
radio,
lyrics
didn't
to
notice
it. Yeah, they just put lyrics to it.
But yeah, so
Oh well, my bad.
yeah. Like from is it Lados or GLaDOS?
GLaDOS.
GLaDOS' point
GL.
of view, like her, like it's such like it's like a happy beat and a happy song, but with these lyrics that are just like, oops.
Can you play it? Can we just like listen to it while we finish this?
We should. That's a good idea.
Oh, it's such a good song. And yeah, like the cake was not a lie. Post credits.
Mm-hmm.
Post-credit cake scene.
Yeah. No one ever ate the cake. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, it was always there.
It was always there. They always had the cake. She wasn't lying. However, no one could enjoy the cake.
But I just love how you go from like suspenseful action
This
music
was a
to
triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every
so good.
You just keep on trying till you run out of cake.
Till you run out of cake.
Until you run out of cake.
Which it's such a commentary on like science in general, right? It's like the scientists were willing to sacrifice these people, like broke their legs and whatever to learn. And GLaDOS picked up on that, and now she has no empathy as a like AI unit because that's who she was programmed by.
Right.
So I feel like that's really what it's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a capstone project, right? It's like one concept, how can we make this fun and engaging and ramp up the difficulty every single level, to use all the things you learned. It's a really good package that way, right? They just took one idea and went all the way with it, and it makes sense. They took it from a capstone project, and they're like, this is an incredible idea, and made it into a full game. And so just the concept of that is great, and it's not really like, there's the new game, what is it, like Splitgate or something, that has portals.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no other like game developer has taken this concept and done anything with it meaningful, at least.
Well, it was the first one too, and that's the important part.
First one in 2007.
Yeah.
And you see like somebody comes out with a battle royale, and then a million battle royales pop up. It's just interesting to me that nobody's copied this premise or idea and used it.
I remember playing like Portal Knights, but it's like slightly different. But that's like the main thing is you can shoot portals. But
Never heard of it.
yeah, it was some free game I got that I tried out for a couple hours. It wasn't very good, but
I'm talking like big name publishers or even indies. Like, it's like absent, in an industry that's so good at taking other people's ideas and putting their own spin on it.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen it yet.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We don't worry about those who die. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake.
And maybe that's all you can do with it. Maybe that's the best implementation of the idea of a portal gun. But
Well,
It seems like he thought about it.
now
You could come up with something,
I mean, they took this game, Portal, and they made Portal 2, and Portal 2 was just leaps and bounds.
And there's like
better.
13 spin-offs too.
Yeah.
well, there's like
I
the
don't know
bridge
how good
portal
they are for
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Portal 2 is an upgrade on this, but like outside of Portal and Portal 2, you think such a good idea would be ripped off.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, I mean, really that's all there really is to the game. It's two distinct sections, and we've gone through both. I think at this point we can probably just go to scores. Alec, do you want to start?
As we mentioned, I think that this game took this concept and was the first to really build on it and make it into a complete package. It's a short enough game to be enjoyable all the way through. The dialogue is insanely clever and well written and funny, witty, and it's only GLaDOS, so it's a very simplistic game. But what they do with it and what they create in this world, like all the lore and of the environment that you just discover by just literally discovering it and seeing it on the walls, I think creates something that was so unique for the time. I mean, 2007 was when this came out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking, you're going from, there's nothing really out in 2007, right? This was the PS2 era, if we're talking consoles, right? Something along them.
2008.
2008
is Xbox 360.
Xbox 360. Yeah. So it's still towards the end of like the Gen 2 consoles. Like you didn't really get too many franchise games at this point. So I think that being one of the first to do this, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
This game was fun. It was cool. It was a great concept that they brought to life, and as I said, it was a great package, and just the cleverness of making the bad guy, GLaDOS, and having it be an AI that is funny, and the only one you talk to the whole game, and it all works, and it works well together, and they take these building blocks and they keep on ramping it up, so you have to use multiple techniques you used before just to get through one level, right? So it's a good puzzle game. I think if I would have played it back in 2007, it would have blown my mind.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, for the time. Like,
But playing it now as
it's dated.
Yeah, in 2022,
Yep.
it lacks some of that impact, and some of the polish that we see in newer games, just with ease of controls and like I
No
said,
loading screens.
it made me dizzy back then. It made me dizzy now. So I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think it suffers from being just an old game.
Yeah.
Which,
And let me revise my score. My score was based on the time. Like that.
Wait,
That's.
what year is it? Just kidding.
And if I were to give that review in 2007, it'd be a 9 out of 10, possibly a 10 out of 10. But nowadays, yeah, like even the second game did so much better graphically, gameplay wise. Just they built so much better on this first game.
Mm-hmm.
But just the concept of it being the first game to do something like this, I gotta rate it higher. But I agree with Jay. If you're gonna stack it up to everything else in 2022, it might not even reach a 7.5, to be honest. There's just too much other stuff to build on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's where I'm at with it as well. Is I'm late to the party on this. It's a game that I've known about since I was in 7th grade,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a game I didn't play until 2022, and because of that, for me, it's going to be a lower score than if I would have played it back then.
Right.
So, basically for the reasons you guys gave, and it just not being, just because it's an old game. I still had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I loved the concept. I thought the humor was good and basically all the way through. But for me, I'm not going to say it's a bad game, but I'll say it's a 7 out of 10. It was enjoyable. But I probably wouldn't play it again, but I enjoyed the playthrough I did have.
I like that you say I wouldn't play it again, because that's what I was thinking as when you picked it, and I was playing it the second time. I was so hyped for it,
Uh-huh.
And then as I'm playing it, I'm like, oh my god, this game is so dated. It looks very rough. Like, it's hard to see the graphical distinction between where you should shoot and where you shouldn't shoot, especially in like the later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I remember Portal 2, and Portal 2 is way better than this one. But I remember playing this one, and at this point, it's nostalgia is gonna carry this game.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you both. I don't think it held up to the test of time.
Yeah, just in like the view frame too. Nowadays the views are wider.
Yeah.
In games, it just felt a little bit too constrained.
Yeah.
But in terms of a concept and delivery, they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly,
Well, and again, think of the PCs back then, right? Like, you're playing on your current PC that's even
True.
3-4 years old, but just PCs have exponentially increased.
Mm-hmm.
In 2007, they're building on what, 720p's their maximum particle.
Yeah, I played on Xbox, and in order to actually play this game, it emulated an Xbox 360 inside the Xbox, so it went back to the old
Xbox
menus, like the old. So it was definitely a blast from the past.
Yep.
To even get this thing to run.
Yep.
Yeah, and one item I did want to touch on that you said, Alec, was the keep holding up over time.
Test of time is what they
Holding
say,
up
right?
over the test of time. I honestly would say it does, because yeah, it's not going to be a 10 out of 10 today, right? Maybe back then it was a 10 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10 today, but it's still a fun game to play.
Right.
It's not I'm playing it and I'm just like gutting my way through it, like not enjoying myself. I still had fun with it. It was still a game that I think is worth playing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just time and advancement in other games makes it hard, makes it so it can't be.
And if you put it in the place of what it was, like, this is literally a tech demo of a physics engine that Valve developed. Like that's what this game is, right? Like if you think of it from that perspective, how cool is that this is the first game to have like actual like fall physics, like momentum, like exploring those concepts in a video game.
That's cool.
Because I mean, not many games did that.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, if you don't have a physics engine in your game's gonna be awful.
Right.
Unless it's Goat Simulator.
True. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. Like we said at the beginning, we got a bunch of other episodes. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. We're the Giants of Backlog, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with Alex's pick.
It is my pick. All right. So my pick, as the Sony fanboy in the group, is a PlayStation exclusive near and dear to my heart. However, I have not played the remaster, and so the one on my backlog is the remaster of Shadow of the Colossus, one of the greatest games of all time. John, you can borrow my PlayStation 4.
I will.
Just so you can play it.
Yeah.
But it's a phenomenal game. Extremely excited for it. I'm excited to hear what you guys think of it.
It's one I've always wanted to play.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And the remaster I hear is beautiful, is what Taylor said in one quote. And so I'm excited to see, because I've only played it on PlayStation 3, so I'm excited to see what they did in the remaster.
Right now I'm debating because I'm halfway through.
Just
remaster.
restarting.
Do I restart it or continue on? So, but I'm thinking I'm going to restart it because I played half of it a year and a half ago. So
Yeah.
my memory's not that good. So I'll restart it, and yeah, it's on my backlog too. I've wanted to finish that game for forever, but I always pick other games to play.
Mhm.
As is the quote of the podcast.
That
It's on
is-
my backlog.
That is the nature of the backlog. So
Hope it's on all your backlogs too. We'll see what you guys think.
Yeah, so like we say, we have a Gmail, giantsofbacklog@gmail.com. Play through Shadow of the Colossus in the next 2 weeks as we're playing it. Send us your questions, and maybe we'll get to your questions in the next episode. That's something we'd love to start doing, is answering viewer questions as we go. And if you can do that, that'd be awesome. We'd love to do that. So thank you guys for watching this episode, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.